We're so happy today to have CiCi Onyekwere, 2012 graduate, an unbelievable person, and the first woman who has made the Olympic Games from Robinson Secondary School. CiCi, welcome.
Thank you.
So you graduated in 2012, and you started throwing shot and discus when?
I would say just throwing shot and discus probably my junior year. I started off in the track and field team my freshman year for conditioning for the soccer tryouts. I ended up taking a liking to it and sticking with it throughout my 4 years at Robinson. I actually started off as a sprinter more than anything, and then picked up obviously like a couple other events, like to train to be a multi. I picked up high jump, hurdles. I was on the 4x1, or as we like to call it when I was in school, 4x fresh. Because it was a group of 4 of us athletes. So it was Molly Kabowski, Liz Robertson, and Gina Marie McCann. So we were the 4x fresh. So we did pretty well. We were able to make it to states our freshman year for that. Eventually, I took a more liking to the throws events rather than the sprints. And that's really my junior year where I just transitioned just only to the throws. And I was working with Bo Fay, who was the throws coach at the time. And he was really pushing me to kind of go to University of Maryland because that was his alum, and his throws coach at University of Maryland also coached him and was available when I was getting recruited. So I'd say I started track freshman year, but I didn't really start just only throwing until my junior year.
So that's amazing. So it's 2010. It's 2010, and you decide, I'm going to do this thing, and then 10 years later, you're an Olympian. Talk to me about that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy. I think when I was in high school, I was just really just enjoying myself and having fun. Obviously, it was inspirational to have like 2 Olympians already on the track and field team in Robinson. Like, not many athletes have that privilege to have Olympians as coach while they're training in high school, talk with them even like college. So I think it was really great experience at Robinson. I think they always like encourage us to kind of like, no matter where you come from, you can always kind of do great things. I really was just having fun in high school. And then when I started getting good in the throws, enough to get recruited on scholarship to University of Maryland and a couple other schools, I was like, okay, like I can take this seriously and like try to take it to the next level. I'd say probably when I knew I had a chance of like improving significantly and possibly making an Olympic team, I would say that would be my freshman year in Maryland, when I think I started off throwing shots at around like 42 feet, and I had finished my freshman season throwing over 50 feet. So that's a big jump for track and field. That's an 8-feet jump in just a shot in 1 year or 1 season. And obviously through that, I continued to improve significantly. And when I finished graduating from University of Maryland, that's when I had the opportunity to compete for Nigeria in my first professional meet as a post-collegiate athlete. So that was over in South Africa for the African Senior Athletic Championships. And I ended up placing 3rd in the shot and 3rd in the disc, and kind of moved from that and wanted to see what I would compete at. Because usually when you're trying to make it to an elite level, you want to find one specific specialization. I ended up picking up discus because post-collegiate, that was the one that seemed to keep on progressing. My shot kind of stayed the same or dropped a little, but discus stayed pretty close or had rooms of improvement. And I was so fresh in the discus. I had quite a bit more experience in the shot put, so there was a lot more chances of improvement in the disc. So I kind of stuck with that, and it's taken me so far. And I'm just so grateful for all the opportunities I've had throughout this past year. And now I get to call myself an Olympian.
It's so amazing. And obviously you're dual citizen. So you went to school here in the United States. How does that process happen where you say, I am going to compete for Nigeria? How does that happen within, moving within your dual citizenship?
Yeah, so I was in school in Nigeria up until moving to Northern Virginia. I have my older siblings who also went to Robinson. They were starting their middle school in their freshman year, and I guess seventh grade in middle school at Robinson. And then my older brother was starting his freshman year in Robinson. And we were in third grade at the time. So when we had moved, it was to kind of give them a better opportunity to go to like universities here in the state. So that kind of came for a shock because living in Nigeria really my whole life and then coming to the U.S., it did come as a bit of a shock. But I would say I adjusted over time and was able to make good friendships. But throughout the years, we would always travel back to Nigeria during the summertime. So it was nice living in the U.S., but also still having a chance to go back home to Nigeria and be with family and friends that we originally left when we were like pretty young. So I've enjoyed my opportunity competing for Nigeria. I'm getting married in Nigeria later on this year, so it's been nice to kind of do quite a bit. And also it's always really nice to represent them because they also help shape me to the woman I am today. I have a lot of Nigerian upbringings and culture, so it's really nice to kind of like when I go back to Nigeria, compete with my Nigerian teammates, have a little bit of more of those cultural resemblance and similarities.
That's amazing. So I'm teaching a class right now, and I asked the kids what questions did they want to ask you, and they kind of framed the question two different ways. The first question was, obviously being an Olympian, you were an elite athlete, you were at the top of the top. How do you find the motivation to train every day and to get up and get ready to train?
Yeah, so I think for me, obviously going to the University of Maryland, I studied mechanical engineering. So it was already a rigorous course load. And then I also was competing at such a high collegiate level. I was going to NCAAs. I've been scoring points in conferences since my freshman year. I have multiple medals from the Big Ten. So additionally to like fully completing my graduation as a mechanical engineering. So I was able to get a job shortly after graduating at Ford Motor Company, which is where I like now I live in Motor City over in Detroit while also balancing a professional track and field career. So with me, when I transitioned from being a student athlete at University of Maryland to go into the workforce, I kind of just pulled in those same skills as time management, really just being really disciplined in what you're doing. And like, obviously, like there's going to be things where like you can't do the same things everyone else does. You're going to just have to make sacrifices, and you're going to have to be willing to make those sacrifices. Like, for example, like during like the Nigerian Olympic trials this year, was also around the same time one of my high school friends had a wedding. I wasn't able to go to her wedding, and I was a bridesmaid at this wedding because I had to go to like Nigerian Olympic trials in order to kind of make a team. So it's just one of those like really hard sacrifices that you have to do and willing to be taking. You just have to really just have tunnel vision on your end goal and do as much as you can to make sure you can protect that and make sure that you are competing at the best of your ability to get to the games or any other the goals that you're looking for.
Yeah, and it sounds like, I mean, obviously a Renaissance woman, an engineer, you crushed it here at Robinson, you crushed it in college, you're crushing it in your career, in your relationships, and you sound like you sacrifice a lot to be this elite athlete. Where do you gain your power from that? What are some things in your life that have drawn you to greatness?
Yeah, I would say like in Nigeria, and I think really just all of Africa, we have a saying kind of like a village raises a child, like not just one household raises a child. I get a lot of my strength from my community. That comes from being someone who came from Northern Virginia, a University of Maryland athlete, being from Detroit, having my Ford Motor Company family, having my maternal family, and just people that I've met along the way in athletics. So it's just like having a large community support me has really driven me to get this far, because say I have like a busy work schedule but I need to like travel for track. My work has been flexible, and they've been really helpful and really helping me achieve that end goal. My family has been really supportive when I've had to not attend some family events. My friends have been really supportive with understanding, hey, if you guys want to hang out on the weekends or on the weekday, I necessarily can't all the time. Like, I'm just going to have to catch you instead for a different time. Or if you want to hang out, we're hanging out at the gym. So it's just really having a really good support system around me who's proud of what I'm doing, support what I'm doing, and able to push me to the next level and do anything they can to help me get to the next level. I think that's probably where I drive most of my strength from kind of all the little communities that kind of have shaped me into the woman and the athlete that I am today.
That's amazing. Well, I hopefully you see Robinson as one of those support, because I tell you, there's some folks here who are just so excited
Yeah.
for you, and I know opening ceremonies are coming up on this. Well, it'll be us.
Yeah, it's on the
We're 12 hours
23rd.
different, but it'll be on the 23rd there.
Yeah.
It'll be the 22nd here. So obviously you talked a little bit about the support that you have, and how amazing it is to compete for your country. But there's also that stress of the Olympic Games, and it's a big stage. So what are some things that you do to build your mental health, to build your mental strength, so that when you get on this stage, you're prepared?
Yeah, so right now my mental state is pretty low. I've been competing kind of professional since 2016, and I've been made pretty much a team every single year since then. I hold a national record for Nigeria. I'm trying to shoot to have that all of African record. I've attended world championships with one of the best. I'm ranked number 16 in the world. So I think for mental state, I've already kind of competed with a lot of these girls I'm going into the games with. Right now, my mindset is really just getting out there and just showing what I can do. I think I'm going to kind of come in kind of as an underdog for some of these competitions. So I think I'm going to be ready to shock the world and show them what I'm going to do. So right now my mental state is good. I had just finished a training camp with my coach over in Pennsylvania. I got back yesterday. So just really right now I'm just packing and just getting ready for the games, because I think right now I'm in good shape and I have all the ready skills to make it on that podium. So.
Man, we are so absolutely proud of you here at Robinson. We got to get a big mural of you up on the wall here, because hey, this is a big deal. Final question, and looking back at your time at Robinson, whether it be a student, whether it be an athlete, whether it just be a community member, what are some of your favorite, or just one of your favorite memories of being a Robinson Ram?
Yeah, I think a lot of my memories are, I spent a lot of time, obviously, in the track and field team. Especially even the times when I was also running and also doing a couple of events, I would be there right after school and be there all the way till 7. So I think a lot of my memories and a lot of my time in Robinson's been spent either on the track or with the track and field team. And probably my favorite experience is like which kind of drew me to the reason why I went to University of Maryland, was the family aspect that I had when being on the track and field team as an athlete. Because I think a lot of other schools, like the throwers just hang out with the throwers, the sprinters just hang out with the sprinters, the hurlers hang out with the hurlers, and the jumps hang out with the jumps. Whereas like at Robinson, what I really enjoyed and what I looked for when looking at schools was that everyone kind of hung out with each other and everyone kind of drew encouragement and drew praise towards each other. So I think that's probably one of my favorite memories. I enjoyed doing the 4x4. Granted, I don't think I enjoyed the running part. I think I just enjoyed being there with my team and like supporting them and trying to do our absolute best and pushing each other to do our absolute best. So I think those are one of my fondest memories I have over at Robinson.
Awesome. Well, we're hoping for the best. I know you got a long flight coming up. Was almost 24-hour flight to Tokyo.
Yeah, it is a long flight. I'm still packing as we speak.
I'll be sending some stuff out to alumni. Just, hey, here's where we can watch CiCi compete. And, we just wish the absolute best for you. And we're so proud to have you as a part of our family. CiCi Onyekwere, anything else for us before we close?
Yeah, so I compete on June 30th at 8:30 p.m. and I compete August 2nd for the finals at 7 a.m. Eastern. These are both Eastern times for you guys. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram, CiCi Onyekwere. That's it.
That is so awesome. I know it's a struggle to find time for this, and I really appreciate you finding time to talk to us today. And, when you get home, you got to come so that we can recognize you and you can do the wave to the crowd and we can give you your big bouquet of flowers and give you your due of just praise and thanks for being a Robinson Ram.
Yeah, I don't think I've been to Robinson since I graduated, so it'd be good to come back and see if anything's changed and walk through the hallways I did like almost like 10 years ago. It's crazy.
I know it. It's awesome. Well, thank you so much. And, blessings to you as you get on that plane and even more when you're out there throwing, and hopefully you can draw some power from this community as you stand on that podium and wave to the crowd.
All right, will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, CiCi.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.